Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be looking at a case that has baffled and fascinated thousands for over 70 years. And if this is your sort of thing, consider subscribing as I upload videos like these on a weekly basis. Enjoy. Today, our story takes place in a very remote town called Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia. The town itself is famous for these sightings. The year was 1952, on September the 12th. On this particular day, Edward May, Freddie May, Neil Nunley and Tommy Hire, all youngsters of the town of Flatwoods, were playing on the lawn of the Flatwoods Elementary School. The kids were running around, laughing and reading books. It was getting late into the afternoon, and suddenly a bright light streaked across the sky overhead and appeared to crash into a hillside near a farm nearby. Intrigued, the boys ran to see what it was that they saw in the sky. Edward May, one of the witnesses, passed by his home on the way to tell his mother, Kathleen May. As the children spoke with such excitement and certainty, Kathleen and local servicemen, Eugene Lemon, and even the family dog followed the children in search of the mysterious craft. Upon reaching the site of the crash, the sun had set and darkness fell upon the forest. The group then witnessed a pulsating red light in the distance. Eugene shined his flashlight up the hill, and the group witnessed something that they would remember for the rest of their lives. The eyes they witnessed were actually eyes of a 10-foot-tall creature with a head shaped like a spade and what appeared to be a dark metal dress. The creature's hands were twisted and clawed, and what seemed to be its eyes glowed an eerie red colour. It appeared to levitate off the ground. A strange, sickening mist hung in the air. The creature hissed and glided through the air quickly, towards the witnesses. The group then turned and fled in terror. Some of the members of the group suffered from throat irritation, vomiting, and even nausea, which persisted for days. These symptoms were passed off as side effects of hysteria. But it is worth noting that these are also telltale signs of exposure to mustard gas. The witnesses told everyone they knew and were completely adamant about what they saw that evening. The story was then picked up by the media and was featured in radio broadcasts and even newspaper articles. The remaining witnesses are all elderly now, but are still certain and keep to their story even to this day. Another sighting of a creature similar in description to the Flatwoods Monster was reported by Miss Audra Harper not long before the infamous sighting near the farm. Harper claims to have seen the being while walking through the woods near her home near the town of Heaters. Heaters is about 5 miles north of Flatwoods. Harper and her friend were walking to a nearby store. The road leading out of their property was uneven and often flooded. Therefore, they took a shortcut through the forest instead of walking the road, which would have increased their trip significantly. About half a mile into their trip, they noticed a ball of fire on one of the hills nearby. Harper dismissed it, assuming that one of their neighbours was fox hunting. A few moments later, she glanced back at the same hill, and she saw something that terrified her. The fire had vanished, and in its place stood a tall, dark silhouette of a man with a large head and red glowing eyes. Terrified, Harper and her friend ran away as quickly as possible and never looked back. Then again, the day after the first incident on September the 13th, another bizarre sighting occurred near Strange Creek, about 20 miles south of Flatwoods. Reportedly, George and Edith Snitowski and their 18-month-old son were driving through the rural area between Clay and Braxton County on Route 4 when their car suddenly died. Mr. Stanowski attempted to restart the car to no avail. It was nighttime and the road was deserted, While the Snitowskis were trying to decide what to do, a foul smell filled the air, and their baby began to cry. A strange bright light filled the darkness, and the couple witnessed a 10-foot-tall creature hovering in front of their car. The description is similar to that of the original sighting. The being hovered for a few moments before giving out an ear-piercing scream. George then drove away as quickly as possible. These stories have become an eerie folktale, creating a fascinating culture in the small towns around the county. A museum dedicated to the monster's story operates in the town of Sutton, a few miles south of Flatwoods. In addition to these 3 well-known sightings, the same creature was reported by dozens of local residents who described the creature in strikingly similar ways. Although the monster has not been seen since the original incidents in 1952, its impact on the rural community has been huge. So what could it be? An alien from another planet? Or even just a hoax? I guess we will never know. Anyway, that's all for today. And let me know in the comments if you would go hiking through the forest of the Flatwoods.